Hi friends, I'm Shravana and welcome back to my channel Sparkling Future. Today we will see some file operations in Python. Before starting with today's topic, I request all of you to subscribe to my channel and also please like, share, comment and hit the bell icon for the latest video notifications. Thank you. So let's say there are some files in your local machine or in Hadoop or wherever, right? How to read the files using Python, that we will see in today's video. So I have a file in D drive. So now we will see how to read that. So for that I am creating a variable called read file, and open is the function that we use for working with files, okay, reading or writing. So here the first parameter for the open function is that the file from where you wanted to read the file. So I have the CSV present in the D drive of my local machine, so I am giving that file here. And by default, if you just leave like this, it will consider that as read mode. This file, this will open this file, this statement will open this file use in the read mode. So if you want to specify explicitly, then you can specify R here, okay, so which means that it will read the file. So now let's run this file, and here you can see, right, this is read, and in the variable explorer one file read name, if you see here, read file is the variable that we have created, and the type is text IO wrapper and size is one file, and like this it will create one variable with this file, and we are reading this file in read mode. Okay, so coming to the other modes, right, so these are the other available modes in this open function in Python. So R, which we just saw, right, this is for opening a file for reading purpose. This is default. If you don't specify any mode, by default this R, which is the read mode, will be considered. Next, for writing a file we can use W. So this one, right, it will truncate the file first and then it will write a new file, okay, and X is for creating a new file and then open it for writing it, and A for appending purpose. So this W, it will truncate the file and then write, right, so this append A will help in appending to the existing file. If it is already existing, then it will add the records at the end, otherwise it will just keep on writing, okay. So that is the difference between this W and A. And B for binary mode, this is to set the type of the file, which type you want, and by default it considers in the text mode only. If you wanted to specifically mention as a binary mode, then you can use this B mode, okay. And then this plus for opening a disk for updating or anything, you can do some operations from the file from a disk, right. If you are opening a file for any reading and writing, you can use this plus option. And then U for universal new line mode. So it was not used in the current one, but you can just remember these options. These are the available modes, okay. So now here we have seen how to use the R, which is the read mode, and it has created and we have seen that. So which means that now this file, we have read this file, and now yeah, we have read, but now let's say we have to know what is the line 1 from that file. That's a simple CSV, okay, some EMP and a salary something was there. So this line 1, I'm taking read file dot, and if you see here, control tab, and it will gives the it gives the options that are available under this read file option, okay. So here if you see here, read and read lines, there are two options. So if you just select read line, and then we will print both so that you will understand the difference. Dot read lines, okay. So now when we run this file, you can see here line 1 and lines are considered, and line 1, it will take only one line. The first line will be considered here. Just for reading a single line, we use this dot read line function, and if you see here for line 1, it has taken that entire line as a string, and this is the value it has taken. This is the header of that file. The CSV has two columns, ename and salary, and that header is considered here as a string, and that is being saved into this line1 variable. And second one is lines, which means that we are using the read lines, right? So this file, what it will do is, this function, it reads the rest of the data whatever is present, right? So all these rows were present in that CSV, so it will read the rest of the data. So if you notice, this is the first line of the file, and after that it has not considered that first line and it has started from the second line. That is because once you perform some operations on the file, right, from disk, when we are reading, the pointer or the cursor is already moved out of the first line. Because of that reason only, here in the second one, when you call this one, it ignored the first one, because already the cursor is moved from the first line. Because of that reason only. Okay, so this is how we will do that. And if you don't want to do I mean, if you want entire I mean, what to say, data that is present in the CSV, means you can try this way, and you can see in the lines, right, you can see now ename sal is also appearing. For some reason this is not giving the full row. Okay, I mean, just try to understand, this is some sample data, that's it. Some, I mean, employee name and salary, something like that. So here if you see ename comma sal, so if you just ignore this comment, this line, then these lines will have the data, entire data. But once you add this, first this line will be executed. Once this is there, the file is still open mode, so it will move the cursor to the second line. That's why it is printing the total second lines. And next one is, let's in usually when we are working with files, right, we will have some requirements like ignore the header. So you don't want to take that header, right? So you can take this, and then you can do this way also, or there is some function called next. Okay, I'll just comment this. Now next of read file. Okay, and then we will print this line. Now we have done the next, and then we are reading the line. So if you see here, the line 1, it has become, I mean, as per this example that we have seen, it should have the header first line, because that is the first line in the file, right? But it ignored the first line. If you can see here also, lines, right? Earlier we have executed this, now it is having the header ename and sal as well. But now when you see this line, right, line 1, now we are doing the next. That means that the pointer will move to the next line. It will ignore that first line and it will move to the second line. So because of that reason only, when you say read line, the next line is the first record from the file, so it is showing the first record from the file. So, and in your usually for project requirement, you may need to ignore the first line or header, right? You can use this option, next of read file. Okay, so now how to close a file. So now we have opened it, so it's a best practice to open a to close the file after performing the required operations. Okay, so now you have executed the close. Now let's do this, let's run this line again. It will give the error saying that it's closed file. IO operation, I mean input output operation, is happening on closed file. Okay, so we cannot perform any operations on a closed file. So once you open this, you perform all the operations, and at the end you close that file. Okay, and then what we can do is writing file. Now we have read it, right? So let's see what we can do for writing a file. So now I'll create some write file, and the same function open, and here I'm creating a file. Okay, some emp sal1.csv. This file is not there in my folder, so let's see what it will do, and I'm writing that in the append mode. Okay, we can write in w or a also. I am just simply, just for the example, I'm taking this a here. And okay, before that let me show you that folder. This is the D drive python files. Okay, so now we have seen that no files are there, but let me run this, and then let me go back to that folder, and you can see one file is created here, which is emp underscore sal1 csv file is created, but it will not have anything because we have just created a file without adding any details to it. Okay, so this is how we will write a file. We will create a file and we can start writing as well for this. Next we have seen closing, right? And what we can do is let's try to remove that file, whatever we have created, right? Let's try to remove that file. I'm just commenting this one so that it, when I run the same code, it will not give error. Because of that reason I'm commenting. So now for what is that, removing, we have to import one package called OS, and here OS dot remove. Inside this remove, we have to pass the file name which you wanted to remove inside the quotes. Okay, so now let me run this. Now let's go to the folder and see. You can see here, right, the file has been removed. Okay, so next what we have read the file, we have seen how to write a file, how to create a file with the append mode, and we have removed. Okay, so now that file is not there, right? So now let's try to remove. What kind of error you get? So you get that the system cannot find the file specified. Okay, so this file not found error. So this is the error that we get when we try to access the file that is not present. Okay, so now how to check whether that file is present or not? Or let's create a directory first. So how to create a directory is mkdir. There is an existing function in that OS package, and inside that you have to give what is the path you wanted to. Okay, let's create some sample. Okay, so now I'm running this, and inside this Python files you can see one directory sample is created. Okay, so this is how we'll create a directory. And then now whether it's a file or folder, how to check that? Okay, before because I mean, sometimes we may need to check whether it's a file or something, right, like that, right? So for that what we have to do is os.path, and here you can see these are the available functionality. So is file, and inside this we can just give this one. This is a file. Okay, and let's put it in if, then print it is a file, else it is not a file. Okay, so now let's run this, and it says that is file. We have sent this one. I think it's small letter. Yeah, so if you see here, it is a file, it has returned. And there is some other function called is folder or something also should be there. Is directory. Okay, so if you wanted to check for any is directory, then you can use this. Okay, so now when you run that, it says it is a directory. Okay, so now let's say something not there, and when you run this, it say it's not a directory, because anyway this file itself is not there, but I checked and it's a file type, right? I think that is because of that it is printing that it is not a directory. Okay, so this is how we will work with files, and in next video we will see how to read a file line by line and how to perform some operations on the file. Okay, thank you for watching the video, friends. Please subscribe to my channel for more interesting learnings. Thank you.